Hello folks, this is James Sullivan, aka YouTube user Jaimetud, and welcome to my TUD sense. T-double-G-double-I-double-F. I work in the public school system. Mainly I work with a lot of kids who have handicaps, but yesterday was the emotionally troubled teens group, or as I like to call them, the perfectly normal teens, because, you know, who isn't? Today we actually have a question from one of our viewers. Daniela asks, if you had a kid who was diagnosed with autism or Asperger's, would you tell them right away if that were the case, or would you wait until much later in life? Actually, given the situation, I'd probably tell them as soon as possible. I say this because it's better to know sooner than later. I'm glad my parents told me when they did. And I've actually met some parents who have made the choice decision not to tell their kids. Or at least not to tell them for as long as they can, because they feel like it's somehow going to puncture their growth as an individual. I feel like it would help explain a lot of things. Take me, for instance. I'm actually going to level with you guys. I have been on a bit of an anxiety trip as of late. And seeing as autism and anxiety are very closely related, that would make a lot more sense as to why I get the jitters more than other people. But this was pretty bad. I'm doing fine right now, but you should have seen me a couple weeks ago. It felt like someone was taking a stapler to my stomach, just tied it up in a knot. And the reason for it? Actually, not really much. I could chalk it up to work-related issues, personal issues, a lot of different things, but mainly, people who are on the spectrum are a lot more prone to this stuff than you might think. And I've been attacking this anxiety every step of the way. I've become quite the fan of chamomile tea now. I've doubled up on my omega-3 acids, and I'm glad that the sun has chosen to finally come out lately because a lack of vitamin D will kick off anxiety and depression. Note, a lot of people, period, will suffer depression this time of year if they do not get enough vitamin D. Doctors have proven it, and that's why there are vitamin D supplements available. The point I'm trying to get at is, I would tell my kids as soon as possible if they were on the spectrum, because that would explain certain things like this. I know I talked in depth in my last blog about overcoming certain obstacles, and I still stand by that, but there are some things that even I have to work with, and this is it. Really, there's no reason behind it. There's no real reason for my anxiety, just, it's all up here. I mean, look at how nicely I have it. I would just tell my kids as soon as possible, because that would explain why they would go through this sort of thing more than anybody else. That would help explain a lot, and that would help them figure out to work on it. So the answer is, yes, if I had kids, I would tell them as soon as possible. That's all I got for my 2 cents today. Glad you could join me, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless. And now comes the time in the show where I give you my TUD views. This time around we have quite a weird choice here. Something that I actually got for Christmas this last month from my good friend Sam Fleming, otherwise known as South Jersey Sam. Here's a little shout out if you'd like to check out his stuff. It's really awesome, does a lot of game stuff down there. And he decided to give me a copy of Octodad, Dadliest Catch. What a weird game this is. I remember hearing about this game when it first came out. The whole premise of it is you play this sort of half humanoid, half octopus creature, an unholy crossing between Cthulhu and Adam, and the whole purpose of the game is to get through day-to-day activities without everybody else noticing that you're a freak of nature. This is one of the most intentionally frustrating games I've ever had to play, but my goodness is it worth to play only for the reactions you're gonna get. It is a task to do anything in this game. I mean, just the combination of buttons and mouse movement that you have to use to get an arm moving around, or the fact that you have to use your boneless legs to get around. This game is insane. I mean, I'm not really sure I'm gonna play it again after this, but it's worth it to tackle just for the challenge. You know, see how far you get before your temple pops. What amazes me most is how no one else in this game ever thinks that there's anything strange about you. You know, it's like Bugs Bunny putting on a wig and all of a sudden everyone thinks he's George Washington. That's the kind of logic they're going here. But you try to live out your life as normal as possible, and guess what? It's not possible. I mean, there's nothing inconspicuous about walking around like this, right?
You must have really been nervous.
Why?
You can't.
He's sweating through his suit.
Why is there a fish? What's the fish? That is so random.
Maybe.
Can you imagine if I decided to walk around like that? I would put the Christopher Lloyd character in Food Fight to shame. But yeah, that's the whole joke about this game, is that it's intentionally frustrating. And in that sense, it succeeds. Congratulations, developers, you created a challenge of everyday life. Not that everyday life is not enough of a challenge to begin with. So that's all I have for this TUD Views. If you have any questions for me, or if you have anything I'd like to tackle in the future, leave a comment wherever you can, and I'll see if I can get back to it. Ciao for now, y'all. I know I talked in depth during my last vlog. Boy, traffic's picking up here, boy. If you like what you saw here, please, please, please try to help support it. I have a Patreon page. You can help me by going over there, throw in some money, whatever amount that you like to throw in. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I also have a YouTube channel. So go there and hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever new videos and new content come out. I'm also on Facebook. Go over there and like that page so you can be notified as well whenever a new episode or video of some sort come out, as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes content. You can also hit me up on Twitter over there to see what kind of stuff that I like to share. Just be warned though, I don't like getting too many messages. So if you're constantly sending me stuff all the time, I can get really agitated. Remember, my privacy is golden. And if you like my t-shirt, I got a t-shirt store over there too. I got links, I got fresh designs, I got new stuff coming out over there. Provided, of course, that anything actually sells. That's about it. If you like what I do, hit that like button, Facebook me, tweet me, share me on your little social networking sites, do whatever you gotta do. Email me to all your little friends, and that's all I gotta say. Thank you, and peace.